following podcast contains spoilers and potential opinions that may offend or insult. Please be aware that this podcast contains a lot of marking out, opinions that you may not agree with, and, of course, smarking. Terms and conditions do apply. Please do not listen to it. Darren's opinion is his favourite match is Vengeance 2005, Triple H v Batista in a Hell in a Cell. That match is awful. Thank you and enjoy.
Boom! It's going live!
Hello and welcome to the first ever edition of the TNP podcast review Dynamite. I am your host Dugbag, joined by a crying man, apparently. Lou, how are you doing tonight?
Cody lost me.
Cody lost.
Cody lost me.
Your boy lost. Your absolute boy. The guy that made you start wearing spandex in the morning. Cody lost. Yeah, we'll get to it. But how do you feel?
Devastated.
I hear that Lou's currently whipping some of his boys in the stable out of frustration.
He's actually booked in at the tattoo removal studio to get his neck tattoo covered up.
The pain I went through does not compare to what Cody suffered at the hands of Brodie Lee.
See if Cody's tattoo, he came out next week and not only they had a status update, but his tattoo had broken into pieces, like the TNT Championship. You know, it broke into pieces and it's like breaking. I'd love that. But I'm also joined here tonight by 10 out of 10. Your boy lost his manager, Darren.
When one boy loses, another boy gains. That's what I always say, so I'm very excited to dive into this show.
When you open one boy, another boy opens.
Oh, we closed them boys up, man. So we're here today for the first ever time to all get together and have a chat about the Saturday night episode of AEW DYNAMITE from August 22nd. First of all, Saturday instead of Wednesday. How was that?
I'm fine. I just hated they made a big deal of it. Like, it's Saturday Night Dynamite. I was like, I don't care, it's just Dynamite.
It's a day.
It's a day.
In my life, as John Lennon said.
I think I would, what I would guess, considering the advertisement for the Thursday match was special.
Thursday special?
No. It was like special night.
Special evening.
Thursday. And I was like, what's special about it? But no, it's a special night because it's on a Thursday. And I think it's because they were so worried people wouldn't tune in because it was on the wrong
But they had to keep reminding it.
Yeah. Special rescheduled because of basketball night.
Yeah, pretty much. Although I do agree, why they have to remind you when you're watching it? That is Saturday night.
Yeah.
You're like,
I know
it's Saturday night. But no,
watching.
I kind of missed having my midweek
Yeah.
pickup because I gotta say I enjoyed Dynamite and it is a pickup. But
It was a long week.
I lost
It was
it.
a long
It was a
week
long
without
week
it.
because of it.
Yeah.
Not for me. I watched NXT on Wednesday.
Not for me. I watched NXT. That should be one of your ringtones.
Fuck guys, I don't watch NXT. I'm not a wrestling
fan. No. Was it good? Was this Wednesday? Did NXT win this week, or did it lose? Even by going against itself.
That was fine.
It's fine. Cool. Cool. So yeah, we go into the episode of AEW Dynamite, and we're joined by Tony, Chirani, JR, and Taz. You cried because Cody lost. I want to cry because it's now been 4 or 5 weeks without Excalibur, and it hurts.
It shows.
It does.
It is a show, but it's not showing.
No, and it starts
It's not a
off.
glowing show.
It's so annoying, man. It starts off so frantic. I feel like Tony Schiavone's chest is going to explode because, like, he's like trying. He's just kind of like, there's no time for entrances. Let's fucking go. And I was kind of like, shit, I can't catch up. I'm like, fuck.
You can't catch up, and it just begun.
Yeah, and it's like,
It's because he was watching the basketball and he was thinking it was still a basketball game. He's like, 5 points to FTR.
Yeah, Tony Schiavone Wednesday night, much different from Tony Schiavone on a Saturday night. Let's just
Yeah, you said it. No entrances, no pageantry. It's like, I think that's again to do with their choice to do with the basketball, and no entrances for the first matchup.
Fuck off.
Private Party FTR. What did you think of that opening? No entrances.
Shite, because like it just started to be like, guess what, man? Tully's with FTR. Deal with it. He's got a new jacket, and I'm like, would have been cool to see him in the truck. I don't know.
I agree with you. I was going to say that if you didn't say it. I think it was
Truck,
absolutely...
hold on, no, back up. You want to see them driving in a trunk and Tully Blanchard just rolling about in the back,
waving a fucking
standing
flag. Waving a fucking... Yeah,
losing his balance.
Trying to stay on. No,
Get Dustin Road in the back of that truck and you've got a fucking match, mate.
I'm going to say, you said it, and I'm going to take it seriously in the sense that, to me, the Tully thing, they're hitting all the fucking points that they need to hit with this storyline, but it feels just rushed. Even though the points are there, and Tully's now suddenly with them, and you're like, right, cool, but no entrances, nothing to even establish it. On this episode, it's like, oh, he's just with them, and you get the promo later on.
Should have been at the start before they hit the music, man. Should have been a little kind of let's go.
I think they should have started with the Elite. I think they should have started with the Elite and Dark Order.
We can speak about that when we...
Because the Elite are a big draw coming from basketball.
When we've seen those matches. But I think having FDR go up against Private Party, who you've got a very athletic team with a team who are showing, like, two of the things that AEW are trying to show. We've got this incredible athletic, very high-flying, entertaining wrestling. We also have traditional wrestling. Hence why Tully Blanchard is also in that match. Because you've got these people coming off of NBA, and what they want to see is the wrestling they know, maybe the wrestling they don't know, and if you're looking at a specific age demo that you haven't got, because it's all about those age demos, guys, you're looking for the old people that are going to be like, oh shit, is that Tully Blanchard?
Nice. Yeah, that's
I think that's
well
why
played.
do
you know what? Well played.
I think that's why they went for that choice.
But you said it as well, Private Party FDR starting off, and the match, it was very good to see Revival work with high-flying guys. I think that's where they're almost at their best, and it's a good build to Young Bucks in that way that the match was set out. They kind of controlled early on, and were using the tag to advantage, which was really great to see. Even a bit Tully came in to distract as well.
Yeah, a lot more heelish antics after the kind of turn on Rock and Roll Express last week. Real cool.
The sunset flip clothesline was a beautiful spot. Scott Dawson, what's his name in AEW? I'm terrible.
Dax
Harwood and Cash Wheeler.
Cash Wheeler's the one bald.
No, that's Dax Harwood.
Dax Harwood does a sunset flip and tries to take fucking Mark Quinn down for the pin, and then
Cash
Wheeler comes in with a massive clothesline, a spine buster as well.
That was great. That was shit hot,
and
man.
A beautiful one at that.
So, good way of remembering who's who in FTR, I found, is that Dax uses wax for his head. And Cash Wheeler is a dick.
See, I was going to say...
You can't deliver a great promo.
when he talks, it's less interesting.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, Cash Wheeler doesn't drive the car, but Dax Harwood does drive the car.
No, I nailed it.
Wheeler, car.
Wheeler, yeah.
No, he doesn't. No, Wheeler doesn't drive the car. He doesn't drive the car.
Harwood drives the car.
Tully drives the car.
Dax Harwood's in the ring for quite a bit with Mark Quinn, and there's kind of the babyface is getting a little bit of a comeback.
Yep.
And there's a lot of wrist control. That's kind of the storyline. It's nice to see how FTR book each move talks about the body part,
Yes,
which is like
the
a
very
classic
body, the
element.
very 80s body part storyline match. I think the match overall was good in that way. Yeah. I just think it's actually still, and this is a slight, because it was a good match, Private Party's comebacks in those moments, there's still work there. Apart from that, the structure of the match was really good.
Yeah.
I think Private Party have still not got the most. It's flashy, but it's not paced well.
Yeah. If I had to summarise it, I would think of it as a fun match with more classic wrestling, because it is about FTR and showing how heelish they are now, and that it's where it comes from, versus Private Party, who are kind of doing their best to keep up.
Yeah. And it felt like that.
And that's
also the best. What is their finisher called now?
The Goodnight Express.
That was the best Goodnight Express we've seen in AEW TV.
Yep, and it was due to the Tully getting interfered, and then the Goodnight Express and FTR went at 12:51. I completely agree with what you were saying, and I'd give it a Shelton Benjamin 2007 run out of 10.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
no stopping me.
It's good there. It's just there's a little bit of cleaning up to do, and like you say, kind of heart. It's. I think at heart, Private Party trying to keep up with the booking of the where they were getting placed.
Yeah. We'll learn from it though. Good to wrestle a team like FTR for them, man. Defos.
You have a conclusion at all for the match? Or are you quite
I
happy?
think you can conclude.
Yeah. Then you cut to Tony, Taz, and JR to promote the show. What did you feel of the matches coming up? Was it
Right.
Was it a hype show for you guys as they hyped up the main event, Brodie Lee Cody?
Yes, absolutely.
That was a good main event.
However,
good main event
like off camera, we were like, they're doing loads of tag matches. Right. I didn't know it was loads of multi-man tag matches, so that really, when I seen like coming up was like another 8-man tag, I was like, oh my fucking god, no, thank you.
Yep.
But other than that, I was pretty hyped for the show.
Yeah, good lineup. I think this questionable people that I was like, right, because it was a lot of inaction as well. I was like, who are they gonna put on this show? And they did put some good surprises of people that needed to be on this show that haven't been for a while. So that was a good surprise. But then you cut to John, Big John Moxley, who's up with his. Where is he? He's
I don't know, man. But
where is John this week? He's not
is,
next to Tony Khan. He's like behind the.
He is.
He's got a cage.
Yeah,
no,
he's
sorry,
always
gate.
with. Actually, wrote that down. I was like, why John Moxley must need to cut promos in front of some form of mesh fucking fencing every time.
Because he's angry. He's almost in prison, but he's not in prison.
But no. So this is the thing. I've kind of been wondering this. I was like, okay, if we're thinking about their gimmicks. We think about John Moxley, he's doing his stuff in gimmick, and that's what he's doing, that's his life, that's the character's life. So what is John Moxley's life that he's hanging about scrapyards with him? Is he playing a homeless man?
I can just like picture like the kind of, what is it, the big barrel, the big bin with the fire in it, and he's just cooking his dinner in it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
For fans
Benny Young's like coming out her window and she's like, John, please come inside.
So if you want to catch up on some TNPT, this is kind of running between us before the podcast we recorded. John Moxley's promos because they're almost every week, and I've said it here. John starts off the promo saying the toughest men don't have to fight. No, don't have to talk too much. But why are you
toughest men don't have to?
Why are you cutting a promo every week, John?
Because he's not tough, mate. He's not tough.
So
I mean, he also like the rest of the promo was talking about how tough he is, and then how
Then MJF's got talents, and he does put him over quite strong, and then says, but first he has to fulfill certain things, like maybe losing his virginity and all these disses, and then he's going to take him to the next stage and make him pay it all out. Yeah.
He also said that he maybe has like 18 months left in him, and I was
Yes!
like, mate, Tony Khan's paid a lot of fucking money. I'm pretty sure he's going to be pissed.
And also he dropped his wife. Sorry, he also said if you've got issues you can speak to my wife or something like that.
Oh, and pre-order a cookbook
and straight
now.
away-
Do you think we're going to see more of that as
Yes.
we eventually come to the debut of Renee Ying or something like that?
I think
because
he
can't
said-
use her real
I think
name.
he said it right. I think John Moxley and AEW will do a thing where Renee Young actually is probably better off outside of wrestling.
Yes.
But wrestling can help promote her career.
Absolutely.
So i.e. John Moxley will make references, and even if she does something that maybe AEW will do a co-branding with whatever she's doing, but I think Renee Young's value is to be independent, and she
it's
knows
bigger
it.
than wrestling now. She'll be able to
She's
get...
so talented as an individual and as a businesswoman.
What does she do?
Presents, produces,
Things that are not WWE.
and it's like she took to WWE as a presenting thing. She's not originally. She was a
wasn't.
wrestling fan,
Yeah,
but
yeah, okay.
it was a job, and she got so good and passionate about it that she's now.
But you don't think she'll do that for AEW?
I don't think so.
I
don't
think she
see
might
her-
do, like I say, she might do co-host shows where she could do a pre-show and she does like the panel or whatever. It's a one-off, but I don't think she'll become an on-TV character on AEW because her brand is bigger than that. And actually going to another wrestling show will limit her potential.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to see her do it either.
No.
Yeah, aye.
That was the Rennie Young minute.
Best of luck to you,
Find out
Renee.
next time what happens to Renee Young here on TNP.
Oh.
So yeah, I like the structure of these Jon Moxley promos, right? He does everything you're taught in wrestling school, which is start off and fucking say a tough line, then go into your opponent, put him over, but then build up the match, say the arena, then say a badass line at the end and walk off.
Yeah.
But it's fucking boring.
I think what you said earlier touches on that. It's just like, I think if that happened every second week or every third week,
Yeah.
and not every week, you would be like, oh. Because some weeks I'm like, I can dig that promo, and then the following one the next week, you're like, oh, that one's shit compared to last week's. Or,
Yeah.
but aye, just having squash cunts,
He's
man.
talked
Stop.
already so much
Yeah,
about
it's-
everything.
It's hard, especially because he did this talking and then he's talking and he's been talking all the time. You're like, yeah, it would be nicer if it was a rarity. That also would maybe give him time. I know he loves going off the top of his head, but maybe write a couple of things down.
This is something I thought was interesting. So you get the Moxley promo and you cut straight away to MGF. So it's like they're doing the off-screen promos to each other, which I thought maybe they could have pasted out in the show.
A
But-
bit better.
A bit better, gives you time to sink into what each guy's saying, especially what MJF says, because MJF's there with the podium, with the fucking Burberry scarf, but he's got a new guy with his fucking PR team.
And a neck brace.
And a neck brace,
'Cause he's
sorry,
been
yeah.
injured, man.
And he's got his attorney, Mark Sterling. So the lawyer says that the paradigm shift is an illegal and possibly deadly move. I thought he was kind of better promo than most guys on Tough Enough. This lawyer, by the way.
Oh, mate, he is the attorney of kayfabe court, mate.
I genuinely think he could win your top 10 on-screen lawyer characters.
Yeah.
Hold on! Top 10 on-screen lawyer characters in wrestling shows!
I don't know, Tommaso Ciampa was pretty fucking good.
When was Tommaso Ciampa
For the Undertaker or something, it's in the back of
What?
Yeah.
204. He's
Yeah.
got weird hair, mate. Oh, it's
Oh,
such
it's
a good.
so good.
They're promoting that the paradigm shift should be banned from All Out, and they've put a petition out that's already got 5 million signatures.
Aye, that was funny.
Fake news,
Aye, I like that. That was funny.
and it's up to you, John. And if he's not gonna ban the move, they're gonna take him to court anyway.
Oh.
And I fucking loved it. But,
The lawyer said, why I'll sue you so hard that you're going to have to part your hair to poop. I didn't quite understand.
Yeah.
it's a hair disc. It's a hair disc.
Since
Why
what was your thoughts? You said you quite enjoyed this,
Yeah,
right?
you go ahead. You go
All
ahead.
right,
with
okay.
your thoughts. You go
I generally remember what I wrote down for this. I just wrote MJF promo, not MJF. Meh. I didn't like this. I thought it was corny as fuck.
Carnies.
I don't get. I don't think the way to build MJF is with these stupid stipulations or not have someone talk for him. And it was just kind of like meh. But I'm not really behind this kind of MJF movement. 2020. I love MJF, but I just was like, meh, don't really give a shit.
Has it maybe worked on you?
Aye, that's it. It's got me. They've got me.
Mate, you're a mark now.
I just think there's better ways to book MJF.
Right. I think the complete opposite. Not
It's usually how it goes.
Yeah, usually in Dynamite that's how it goes. Like that fuse, mate. Let's bring the booze, Dynamite. To book an angle like this, where the paradigm shift is removed and puts a babyface suddenly in a position of being at a disadvantage from the get-go, I think is a great way to build a good match. And they've had more time with MJF, I feel, than Brodie Lee. And I'm turning on this because I originally was like, I don't know where it's going, but to take the paradigm shift off, I think is a really interesting way of garnering a lot of heat for MJF in match. The build, no matter what, will get heat because it's good MJF stuff, and it's okay to have 1 week where it's not a lawyer. But in match, this will give, without the audience reaction, something really interesting to watch how MJF plays with that and how Moxley comes back from that. And that is me invested in a Moxley championship match.
I've been enjoying the MJF bits. I like that they are lampooning the election that's going on this year.
Yep.
I understand why they're doing it with that character as well, because of what he kind of represents as a character. And what I enjoyed about this model particularly was that you have a bit of him you have him showing the injury, which is something that we know about his character. He did that over lockdown. He had someone speak for him, and he's always keen on having other people do his dirty work. And it gave this chance for this other character, who I did enjoy. I enjoyed his promo. Poop line, I'm still like,
Yeah.
But the majority of the promo, I was like, yeah, I'm into this. It helps build out his kind of entourage, but it's not like Inner Circle. They're not all wrestlers. It's just guys like Nina in the background smiling the whole time.
That was funny.
Which was like watching Melania Trump a bit as well.
That
You know,
was sweet. That was sweet.
it was all kind of like, I felt like it actually fit in for his character, especially actually the odd kind of stipulation. I was like, oh, cool, removing a finisher. I just thought of that on the base level. I was like, oh, that means Moxley has to come up with something different, or MJF has an easy win.
MJF could win,
which was great.
Exactly.
It helped me build that.
I think there's been I think it's cool that the stipulation. The actual segment fell completely flat.
I get that.
Oh man, I think it's a take. I think it's what you're into.
I'll tell you one thing he said though is, it's cool that MJF doesn't have a stable. He just has people he's paid to be around him to look like a stable.
Yeah.
And we're in a place where now stables, AEW is very much becoming a stable place. As we will see with our next match. QT, Marshall, and Dustin Rhodes, known as the Nightmare Collective, and Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, known as the Jurassic Express, teaming together to face the team of the Butcher and the Blade and Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix.
So I kind of wrote it down. I was like, Butcher, Blade, Lucha Bros. And I was like, Lucha Butchers. And I was like, oh,
nice! Lucha Butchers!
But then I was like, but hold on, the Blade's not... he is the
but he's
Blade.
Part of the
That's
butching.
part
He's part
of
of the
his...
butching.
Like, I need to... So I was like, Lucha Butchers and the Blade. Because he deserves that. He's so
And the
important. He's so important and integral. And we'll get into that in the match.
Which had no entrances again.
No entrance.
No entrance, Nightmare Family. I was like,
fuck.
They're all Nightmare Family. You said it. Are not already over in my mind, and then they have no entrances either. I'm like, well, I'm not even heard the da-dum, da-dum, da-dum.
Actually,
which is all right for Dustin. Do you know what I mean? It gets you into it. But I agree, and we'll get into it. QT, because the team of Butcher and Blade and Lucha Bros attack all the good guys first. QT is left by himself, getting beaten up by the four of them. It felt like Triple H, for me, was doing offense at a PWG show. Like, QT Marshall was like turning up at PWG, doing PWG spots, but as an old man.
I would watch that.
Were you into
I actually like QT Marshall. It's such a skip factor for me. I'm like, I'm glad you're living your dream, mate, but get off my TV.
I know, it's pretty bad.
Fuck off, QT Marshall, man.
They suddenly then it's Dustin who gets tagged in, and then I wasn't much more happier. As they target. But we finally get a hot tag to Luchasaurus. There's a usual Luchasaurus comeback, which I will say now for record, Luchasaurus has one of the best comebacks in wrestling. Usually. This week wasn't the greatest.
That's because it's like the 8th time in a fucking row it happens. It's like the same thing, man.
But it's a beautiful comeback. I will say it's a beautiful comeback. Jungle Boy hits a suicide dive where he missed the suicide dive.
Aye, but it looked like the Butcher. You watch back, Butcher looked like he shat himself and moved out the way. Aye, he looked like he was like, oh, that guy's gonna hit me. Fuck, I'll move. And I was like, oh my god.
I love him for all his mistakes. Zero mere
killed Jungle Boy.
Yeah, but you got a butch, man. You got a
It's the gimmick, mate. It's the
Can
gimmick.
you imagine you were watching George of the Jungle and the tree moved out the way?
Yeah, mate. But no, it's kind of like if a chef halfway through George of the Jungle, like a guy with an apron, just ran up and started hacking at him.
No.
That's what Butcher is.
Never call him chef. He is Butcher.
Chef. He doesn't cook with me. He only
The chef and the waiter.
So you get a zero mierdo into a spin kick by Luchasaurus, the choke slam, and the moonsault. Gotta love it. But then there starts to be dissension. Nasty dissension. Who's the bigger bad between Butcher and Blade and Lucha Bros?
I'm more evil than you.
As they start to fight each other, and it turns into a push by Penta on Blade, who gets pinned by a roll up because he falls into one by Jungle Boy, and it's the win for Jungle Express and Nightmare Collective at 9:42.
Actually, sorry, man. I just think the ending of this was hilarious because it kind of looked like Pentagon was raging that it wasn't Phoenix that was going to help him do the finisher.
Yeah.
Like the package, he's like, "No, Blade, you're not Phoenix," and he's like, "Fucking just do it," and he's like, "Fuck you," and then they fucked it, and I was like, "That is too funny, man."
Zero mierda.
Oh.
You kind of mentioned it earlier. It is just a PWG match, but the issue is, one, Excalibur's not calling it, which we spoke about earlier, and it's just hard to follow these multi-man matches with all these moves happening all the time, because none of the commentary team can fucking call it.
Yeah.
In time. So comparing it to the previous multi-man matches we've had in the last while, another issue alongside constantly booking the same wrestlers to do very similar comebacks or or not finishes, but like mid-section matches. It was really not a strong match, I thought. I miss Excalibur, guys. I just miss him so much. Although I will say, Phoenix was great and Jungle Boy was great because the two of them are two of the best workers on the roster.
It was a kind of nice short match. It was hard for me to sink my teeth into because I generally hate the Natural Nightmares ending the day with them. I just think they're actual like fucking, I don't know, get off my TV. It was fine. I don't know, man. It wasn't necessary. It felt like filler in the card just to be like, look at these guys. I just think even Lucha Bros versus Jurassic Express on their own or something like that. I don't know. There's no need for constant multi-man matches. I know every cunt needs to get booked, but shout out though, Phoenix had a shithole mask this week.
Yep,
so god damn, Phoenix is, and the bit where he just showed off the ropes when he got tagged in, he just kind of was like, he jumped up like twirl, 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 jump, slap, and I was like, oh man, what a cunt.
Yep. I said good for before what happened next. I've got written good non-story line advancement match in the sense that it was all right for like 8 minutes of four on four characters doing their thing and it almost just being an exposition, like you say, like a PWG match.
Ho ho ho! How wrong you were!
But the issue to me within the match, before talking about after, is too many big spots for such a short match, man. Like this PWG style for 9 minute characters, you don't need the fucking jump up Canadian Destroyer. You don't need on Dustin Rhodes. You don't need it.
Which the Destroyer looked kind of weird. Like, I looked like Phoenix hurt right in his head.
Because you got people like Butcher and all that. And you don't need that kind of match.
More like the Butcher, am I
right? Out comes Eddie Kingston.
Cut the music! Cut the music!
Cut the music!
Cut the music!
And it was, thank you. So polite.
So good. Comes out. Oh, and by the way, just for my match rating for that match before, it's a Team 3D from TNA.
Oh,
out of 10.
Era. What time?
TNA.
Just general TNA.
No, 2000. What we were watching, 2009, 2010 TNA.
Okay.
It's like the spots are there, but why are we doing this?
I get
Don't
the
do it to
tables. There's no
yourselves.
need.
Don't do it to yourselves. So then, Eddie Kingston comes out and starts putting over each guy, going, hey, the reason why you're losing is because of dissension. Or something like that, but I can't do it as good as him because he does it well, his words are good. And he puts over...
So there's some class little bits, like...
I love you. I love you.
Blade's like, how long have we travelled together? We know what's due, and we know the final due is death. And you're like,
that was great.
Such a good line.
But then for Pentagon, he's like, you're one of the best luchadors, and then went to Phoenix, he's like, you're one of the best luchadors, and I was like, man. Yeah, they're both great.
And then the Butcher, he just went up to the Butcher and went, and you're the Butcher.
That's what you are.
Did you not kind of feel like, okay, he knows Butcher's name, he knows Blade, he thinks he knows Penta, he can't remember Phoenix.
Yeah,
because he's like, and you, I love you and respect you.
I love you. You're amazing.
This is real talk, man.
So he puts all the guys over and says, the reason because you're losing is because you're all fighting between yourselves. Why don't we get some wins? Bring it in here. Does a big hug to them all. They all hug together.
Yep.
And then he looks to the camera and gives a nice wink.
Mugs. He's like,
gives a lovely wink to the camera and you go, man, he's making things interesting.
Oh yeah.
Also smelt of maybe Pac not being around for a while.
Yeah, but I also smell of maybe when he does, everything gets normal, Eddie Kingston versus Pac.
That's what I was
Let
thinking.
me see it.
Yep.
Book that shit.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So then cut ad break and then back with Tony Schiavone, and Tony Schiavone saying we're going to welcome the winner of last week, one of his biggest matches, Orange Cassidy, and out comes Orange Cassidy, and then the best friends come out, and just as he's about to start talking with Tony, Jericho's music hits.
But it's sad Jericho, so
He's
it's more
very
like,
sad. He's a broken Jericho. He congratulates Orange for the win. He wants to have a toast. He's got a little bit of the bubbly there with him, and he wants to have. And he's finally knowing the fucking orange jacket.
Yeah.
But he looks kind of sad not to wear the orange
he looks
jacket.
kind of rough.
Scruffy, yeah.
He's drinking straight out of the bottle, no glasses.
Yeah.
And he's got no inner circle pals.
No.
He's just all
He's
bad
all
and lonesome,
himself.
and he's breaking down.
But before he has a toast to Orange Cassidy's win, he wants to say well done for winning the match and beating him. He's happy. He wants to have a toast, but he wants to have one more match. And he wants one more match between them, and how can they settle this? The rubber match. Kept on saying, the rubber match!
He's
I
a
hate
real
when he
rubber
says it. I
band
hate
man.
when he says rubber match. Just call it the third match.
But it's the rubber match!
I'm thinking about rubber. And he
Are you
says,
thinking about rubber as in the material, or rubber as in another term for someone jacking off?
oh, I never thought about it like that. I only thought about the material.
Rubber.
Now I'm thinking about somebody with the material.
Who's the
jacking
rubber
off.
band man?
And so he says there's only one match where they can face each other and finally determine who's the best between Orange and Jericho, and it's going to be a Mimmosa Mayhem match.
Yeah.
Or, in other words, casual brunch.
Nice. Exactly. What time would you ideally want to have a?
Oh, Mimosa's like you said, I think it's brunch, maybe at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Actually, it
I
was
said
like
11 a.m. I was going on the earlier
oh,
side.
okay. I
You got
actually
Russell.
like
You
the
got Russell as well.
when you announced this, I was like, man, I do enjoy a mimosa.
Are you
So-
saying that when it happens, we should drink mimosas
Absolutely.
during
Yeah,
the match?
that's an absolute shout. We should have some mimosas.
Absolutely.
Well, join us on
The
TNP
Mimosa
Instagram,
Mayhem.
Mimmosa Mayhem
Who's going in the box of mimosa?
Jericho. I think Jericho's going in it.
Cassidy's going in it.
No, Cassidy's going in it. Oh, I don't know.
I like-
Jericho's. They're going to close with Jericho being a badass. Like whatever happens with the match, Jericho has to be a badass after this.
I don't know, because I kind of like the idea of like, I was almost not disappointed, but when he came out and he looked dishevelled, I thought he was going to have like fully snapped, but he hadn't. He was kind of like, this match, I kind of want to see him like lose this
Murder
and
Orange
like
Cassidy.
full on
That's what I
like
want,
Jericho
yeah.
got all the way like lost his mojo
Yes.
and like maybe goes in a losing streak and a circle
Disappears
like
disappears and then comes back.
Yeah.
And finally does something new again. Because I think either with the inner circle or not, they need to do dissension. They need a new version of them to be in the works. And I think by him losing, it creates more of an opportunity for that.
As long as they put, like, at one point he puts Cassidy in, he's beat him up so much, or he does something that all the mimosa turns red. Like blood.
Oh, nice, because he's bleeding so much. Yeah, yeah.
that'd be cool. Yeah, like, I do think Cassidy kind of has to get a break off TV, man.
Well, so that's what I
It's
was
a bit
thinking.
like, see the minute his
So-
music hit, I was kind of like,
Is it-
I can't be
Yeah, it's
arsed
a bit
with this,
too much,
man.
yeah.
Aye.
Yeah, exactly. They tried with a draw. Now it's time for somebody else to get. And also, it's the thing of I wasn't happy with the third match, but it could be fun. Could be fun. But I'm not much into it more. It's we'll get into it later.
Yeah.
Inner Circle then appear as he wants to toast them, but all the bottles are bubbly, and they attack best friend Cassidy.
Get him, boys!
They pour the bubbly. Like Hager grabs them in like a kind of leg lock and lifts them up, and then they're all pouring the fucking shit bubbly on him. And I had noted down, I was like, is this what you call a champagne shower? But then I was told very quickly that it wasn't. It was a vicious beatdown in the sense that Cassidy was not enjoying it by the end.
No.
The fun was gone
No.
after he was getting poured champagne after champagne.
I enjoyed the Jericho having the guy that edit the, like, he was a revenator of this and now the
Oh,
Mimosa
yeah.
match.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I dig that Jericho would go out his way to, like, it's believable to be like, yeah, he would get a guy to make that.
Yes.
That was fun. Third match, Because they've all happened in such close succession, and they made a massive deal of every fucking one of them. It's kind of like, but it's for nothing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we don't need this.
And so far they've got worse. Like the first one was better than the second one, so you're like, oh.
And each segment, even the promos, like the first promo when Cassidy attacked and he was bleeding from the ear, that's been the best bit. Like,
and I wanted to, in a way, even if they'd done it with 2 week build, have Jericho on the card doing something else, even if it was 2 week build.
And then they just interfered with each other just a little bit, but not fully.
Even if it's Jericho Beretta. Instead, do you know what I mean? But
he's in commentary next week. Why don't they just have them commentary, just shitting the matches, like their matches or whatever, you know? But we'll just see how it is at All Out.
That's it.
Get the mimosas out.
Then we're back to the 6-man match that I still think should have opened.
With the worst entrance, which gets an entrance when they played the horrendous.
It was.
Was it? It's that one, right? No, it's
Do you know like it?
Not for an entrance theme.
But they were very. I agree with you. I was not marking out, but they were very serious, and it was very underplayed entrances. So it made me more intrigued.
Unit, man.
Yeah,
they
it made
were
me more
the
intrigued.
elite, and they wrestle like the elite in this match.
Yes, it made me more intrigued in the match, and we go into the match. Dark Order get absolutely pummeled for a while until it's like Matt Jackson goes for the triple Northern Lights. But then the Dark Order come in. But then he just does a fucking Northern Lights to 2 of them. And I was like, yes, this is good. It's an elite party. And the Dark Order invited. But then they just get bullied for the whole party. And then go home and cry about it. So I was enjoying that party.
What parties are you going to?
Elite
where
parties.
People gang up and bully someone till
We've
they
all
go
been
home?
there. We've all been there. Then Dark Order, I was enjoying the offense, and then suddenly Dark Order finally get a bit of offense because Kenny's on the second rope and one of them and grabs his foot.
And it takes all 3 of them to start having a beat down.
And the
Kenny
numbers
Omega,
comes over
and like, okay, this
Knox,
is cool.
Knox was distracted as well, which was good, and they used the chairs to beat him down, do a foot stomp, and that they cut the break at that point, and I was like, you know what, I'm loving this. This is good. This is it was basically a squash match so far. Yeah. And then they got a bit of offense thanks to the numbers. Then you come back from adverts, and Kenny's getting beaten down some more, and I was like, but with no 3-man. This is one of the Dark Order beating down Kenny Omega, and I was like, can I change channel? Am I watching something else? Omega finally gets the hot tag on the Jacksons, and the Jacksons go for the Meltzer driver. But that's reversed, and they hit a tombstone, and then the other member of the Dark Order hits another tombstone.
That was fucking. I kind of like that, man. Fucking That was like, I think Dark Order looked really fucking good in this. Yeah. Considering for the lower members, I think this is actually
This is possibly the best
3,
Silver
4 and 5. Yeah, Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and Alan Angels.
It's probably the best that Reynolds and Silver have looked.
Yeah, they actually looked like
competent.
Yeah, like a tag team. Like you're like, cool. Like,
we're talking about this, man. Good fucking night for Dark Order, man.
Yeah. But it ends with fucking the Elite getting the offense and One Winged Angel to 5 to finish at 11 minutes and 17 seconds with the Elite. I love the fact that they got offense, like you're saying. I love the fact that you're suddenly like, I believe in them as a tag team, I can see them. But why the fuck am I watching 3, 4 and 5 getting that much offense and cool reversals on the Elite right now? It's not the time to build the Dark Order tag. And I get what maybe they're doing, which is multiple storylines branching out at the same time, but Kenny and the Elite and FTR and Hangman was something that you got 2 weeks left to build, and I did not see any of that in that match. I saw Kenny, obviously what happens after is interesting with Kenny's storyline development, but I think that much offense, they can never do a squash match.
No.
AEW can never do a squash match.
But they shouldn't. Do you see what I mean? Unless, and no, because we'll talk about it later on, they have done matches where someone gets no offense and
there's you could say as well, like they came out very serious because they've got other stuff in their mind, maybe underestimating the Dark Order, and they're on a drive right now where they're believing in what they are. So it's kind of like
but Kenny Omega also got 6 minutes of offense on Alan Angel before he was 5.
Yeah, but I mean,
but Angels got better.
No, but it's the same amount of time if one person with 6 minutes for an individual.
But you have to. you are breaking it down by minutes, man. The whole thing
That's
is.
how it helps.
I
Get on
know,
cage match.
But I do.
Because Omega then grabs a chair and is like, fuck this guy, and goes into the fucking ring to fuck up number 5. Must not like 5s. Must not be a 5 kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's not a 5 guy. But the Young Bucks stop him and they just go away.
Aye.
Even 5.
Come on, some teasing
Stop
is,
teasing it.
do it.
Have you seen the Reddit thing that his hair is getting darker every week?
Why could you just get him? No.
Apparently his hair, if you look at every week, it's getting darker and
So he's
darker.
going to go full jet black.
He's doing the
And
cleaner
it's-
without you noticing it. He's
That's
becoming the
it.
cleaner
That's
without you noticing.
it. Fun fact about this match as well. This was actually the match that was on at the exact same time as the NXT ladder match. So
Which one would you have switched over at that point if you were watching the
absolutely, I would not have watched this, man. The Elite
There you
against
go.
like
There you go.
yeah,
That's
like
telling. That's
yeah,
telling.
Yeah, absolutely.
absolutely, man.
That's a good point out NXT Mark.
That's it, man.
Mark.
And that's a point to NXT.
Yeah, that's
one
they're
point.
getting-
1 point, man. Well played.
Let's
Then
get him up.
cut to Alex Marvez. It's anyone boy. Boy for sale.
No, absolutely not. He is quite goofy. I like how he's went
He's
into the
getting
goofiness now.
into it.
He
He's
knows that he's
getting
a
into
fucking meme. He knows he's like not a serious presenter.
Yeah, and it's
But
good.
he's not in my boys' stable.
He's in nobody's boy stable, man. He's
not
even,
yet. When we can
Even
only-
his ma. He's not even in her boy stable.
Mrs. Marvez like, no, I don't
She's
want
NXT. Switches over. And it's with FTR though, and Tully. And I thought they were quite good with Marvez as well. They handled it well.
I think Tully and Dax were. I think.
Why are you going to
Tully
shit
was
on Cash and
and
Wheeler?
Dax was
Did you?
great.
Wait,
Cash
which one?
is
Wait,
a-
sorry.
Cash is
Right, wait,
wait,
which
wait,
one?
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Do you think the one? I'm just thinking the one with hair is better at cutting promos than the bald guy?
No, the bald
Right,
guy
cool.
is much better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. So I was
The
gonna say
bald
like
guy, Dax Harwood.
Dax Harwood,
Wax, wax.
Cash
Okay.
Wheeler. Shit, I got it wrong earlier.
I was so confused, mate, about who they are.
Oh.
They
yeah.
are FTR.
FTR.
FTR 1 and FTR 2 and it should be called like FTR Robert.
No, it should be Fred, Tully, and Robert.
So
That would be
Cash,
so good.
so Alex Marvez asked him what's going on with Tully, and like,
What's going on?
and fucking Cash says, "I will give you an answer with my answer right now." And like.
He's putting over
He just
his
kept saying the
answer
word the
of
best.
answer.
He kept just saying the best, and I was like, "This
The
is like
best.
Ortiz."
The best.
But no, it was when it got to Tully's explanation.
They announced the gauntlet match, which I was like,
Yeah.
I was kind of hyped to
which-
enjoy a gauntlet
which-
match.
Right, explain the gauntlet match to me again. Who's in
Right.
it?
So it's Natural Nightmares.
Oh, of course.
Natural Nightmares. Oh my god, where the fuck is it gone? Natural Nightmares versus Best Friends. Natural Nightmares versus the Young Bucks. Then the winner of that versus Best Friend and versus FTR.
So, what are you guys saying? You get Young Bucks v FTR at the end?
No,
I've got natural nightmares to watch.
I think it'd be absolute madness to have the Young Bucks face FTR at the end. I think that's so fucking stupid to waste that on
Best
Dynamite.
Friends.
I think Young Bucks, something will happen, or I don't know. But you can't have the first time these two teams face each other
As if it goes.
in a fucking gauntlet match.
Well, I don't know.
No,
I
I'm
mean,
going to
you
say
could
it.
do it, you
I'm
could
going to
do
book.
it.
I'm going to book it. I think they will do FTR Young Bucks, and I think it will go to a time limit.
Oh fuck it.
So then
Boo.
it'll be a triple threat.
But it's a gauntlet. Would there be a time limit?
They still have to be a There'll still have to be a time limit.
Young Bucks are starting off, which makes me feel that they'll get put out by Best Friends.
I don't think they can take another
Or
loss
they're going to
so soon.
lose to FTR.
I
Because it
don't-
gives you a good explanation for
Yeah.
why they'll bet them. It's
Ah.
not a straight match, so it's safe.
But then Hangman comes out and talks to them with Marvez, and
With
it's
a
like
shirt that is so loud.
classic cowboy shirt, and he says, "Yo," kind of calls them out on what they did to the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, that's not cool, man.
Yeah, man. I know we drink beer and shit.
Fake
but
leg thing.
Don't attack
Fake leg
Ricky
injury.
Morton. We all like Ricky Morton.
Oh,
He
yeah.
appears on NWA. He appears on TNA. He appears on Talking Shop. He'll do anything.
I mean, he's
That's what
63,
it's
63
Ricky
but he
Morton,
looks
yeah.
like he's 83.
He'll do Canadian Destroyers on your cameo, probably, if you ask him, man. Like, Ricky Morton will appear anywhere. I love him. And he calls him out for that. And FTR say, listen, man, it's all about facing the best. We want to face the best, which is you. Oh, and then Tully says the closing line, fear the revolution. No, the Revelation.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, where the
Shit.
fuck that up?
Shit.
More like they should have done the Fear the Retribution. Any iteration of FTR, because they need to change it so many times because there's so many cease and desists, so it's so funny. Whatever they want FTR to mean.
Sound.
So it's actually Fear the copyright strike.
Aye.
Can we get on to ragging on your boy yet? No?
So yeah, the next match is Darby Allin v Will Hobbs. Will Hobbs.
Get so offensive!
I never exactly. You want to talk about squash match? Man?
Why do AEW never just do squash matches?
Fuck's sake, man. Will Hobbs throws around fucking Darby for a minute and a half. My girlfriend, who watched a bit of this, right, said, "Oh man, that guy's gonna lose." This is meant to be a squash match, man.
The guy who gave the middle fingers to Jon Moxley whilst getting put in a submission a couple of weeks ago for the AEW title is getting beaten off a guy that I don't even think I've seen in Dark. So,
But he's got some nice power slams.
I've got nothing to say about this, man. Apart from the ending.
I was going to say,
Let's just
I
go
don't care about
straight-
this match, I only care about
Right,
the end.
yes.
Coffin Drop
only-
Darby wins.
Woo!
2 minutes 46. I'm giving it what is like the reverse of a squash match?
The reverse of it.
To unsquash is to inflate.
I'll give it a Brian Cage out of 10 in AEW.
Oh
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a Lance Archer title shot.
Who?
Out of 10.
Who's Lance Archer? Hello, missing poster. Where's Lance? Never heard of
That's
him.
good, man.
Gone.
I mean, he was in the audience with Jake.
I
He was genuinely in the audience with Jake.
I give it a Brit. No.
Taz stands up and is like, "Yo, Darby! Yo, Darby!
It's me, Taz. Remember? And he's just like, yeah.
Fuck the world, Darby!"
I've got something for you, Darby.
Want to meet my friend Darby?
So he's got a third member to introduce, and out comes, and his name is also Darby. And I was racking my head through, is there any independent wrestlers called Darby?
Better know it.
And then out came obviously Ricky Starks
Wow.
with full Darby Allin cosplay,
That was on the other side of his face.
and he starts mimicking a Darby Allin promo,
So
spot
good.
on, a note perfect Darby Allin promo, and then Darby gets beat up by Brian Cage in the ring.
I've just been waiting for someone to point out this kid walked to AEW from Catty Unders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
I also didn't know that I love Darby Allin, but Ricky Starks got a Darby Allin promo
It's
better than Darby Allin. I was like,
Mate.
see when he ripped in the skateboard and shit, he's like, I just like to push myself and jump off shit. I was just like,
But I
That's what
enjoyed.
Nelson did, mate.
It was nice to see that he didn't need Taz to cut his own promo, because as soon as Ricky got into the ring and was holding Darby,
Yeah.
it totally changed.
Yeah.
And it was really good, intense promo, and you're like, oh, there's another talker in AEW now. Again, that's
He's
the thing
established
that
that.
I
He's
begin.
established
yeah.
that.
I mean, I know we talked about Moxley and MJF being too close together and things like that, but the fact that you've got 2 promos in a row of characters, and that's not the only promos you're getting
Yep.
this
Yeah.
fucking
and just
episode.
making a rivalry for nothing feel important. I'm excited
Yeah.
for the
He
blow off,
did- he
man.
did.
Absolutely.
He then washes Darby's face paint off and says that he doesn't need the fucking face paint to hide. Really good line.
Yeah.
And I loved the little bits in between, because he was all like kind of just a dickhead, but then when he came to the promo in ring, when Darby tried to touch him, he was on the "Don't touch me! Don't touch me!" which I fucking loved. I was like, yep, really establishing.
Don't
that-
touch
that
me,
you-
you little
that you're a
punk!
heel, that you're an actual heel. I believe you that you're a heel,
Yeah.
and I'm invested in you as a heel. And also, you can do stupid things as well. You can be kind of.
Oh, he's great. Even was it the time where he cut the promo before him and Cage went out in the entrance? They were in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tunnel like, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Starks and Kingston, 2 great
Signees,
yeah,
yeah.
signees for promos,
And
man.
it's good to see them again on TV. Shitty coffin drop from the second rope on purpose, calling out the move. If Darby wins it all out, I hope he does it in a different way to kind of not move on from it, but I just think it's good to show that he's more than that, because if that's what this rivalry should be about.
Yeah, almost like Randy Orton with the punch, not just the RKO, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get a Sammy Guevara during ad break.
We talked about what we were excited about for this show, and the main event I was pretty pumped for, but what got me really pumped was the Road 2 promo that Cody did,
Oh, yes.
which was really, really good. And then in the same row too, Sammy did a promo about the feud with Matt Hardy. It was a pretty good promo, but especially because he's doing the whole, I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry about what I did to you. I'm sorry that I've done it so many times. And he's like, I'm sorry I didn't do it earlier. I was like, yeah, this is fucking Jeff Jarrett over here.
So good. So good.
Empty apologies, and you get a little bit of that in the signs going up, but that's not what this segment was about. It was about
Then still during the break, Hardy attacks him, which I thought was good.
back. But not during the break.
Well, I thought it was interesting to be like, keep your eye on it. Don't change the channel because you're about to see. It's not just Guevara.
For picture-in-picture people.
Yeah. And so he starts hitting him with the chair, and then pushes the cards into his face, which I thought was good. Kind of felt like that might be the end of the cards for a while because he did kind of get his own up on it.
Is this your card?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Then he throws Guevara into a table and Guevara does a full flip.
That was shit hot.
It was amazing.
He also was like, there is no way to have taken that safe. He looked like I was like, that's a
It
sword.
was all in Sammy.
I think he did his own receipt. I think he did his own receipt. He's like, look, Matt, I'm sorry about the chair shot. Yeah.
I was 6:30 through a table through my side.
I'm just like Jeff. Sammy goes through a table. Matt reigns strong.
Yeah.
And then
Matt never dies, mate.
he never dies.
Never
Yeah,
dies.
it's true.
I kind of like how this bumped. He kept doing the delete as well. Like, I was like,
It's good. It's good. I'm just confused that Matt, in a way, maybe that's how you do it. But I know the storyline more of Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara than what the tag title match will be. But hey, that's by the by.
But I like that it's mystery. You don't want everything to be for sure.
Aye.
Back when we actually come back proper from ad break, it's a promo from
Thunder Rosa, finally!
Great.
We talk about things that we really needed. A fucking build to your women's title match.
And a fucking competent fucking
That's it.
experienced,
confident,
superb fucking female wrestler, and she had the NWA Championship, which I hate the look of that belt, but very cute to have it.
I love
However,
it.
it was just like,
what's your top 10? Oh wait.
It's great. I just think it would have been cool in the sense of like all this space or that Derby squash match or whatever. It would have been cool to have her in person, to maybe she'd have to come out again and be like, there is nobody and have an attack to make me. They just EW love a white room with a red or blue light, don't they? They love it. Like, come in this white
That's
room.
Brodie Lee's room, and then actually.
I know.
somebody else's
I'm like,
room.
what are you doing, mate?
Whose
Like,
room is it?
he puts the purple light on, mate. That's
He's
it.
in the hallway.
Alistair Black is raging. He's
It's,
like, get out my room.
But yeah, very hyped. That
What are you doing in my room?
that made me excited for the AEW Women's Championship match at All Out. I was like, oh my god,
That's a good match.
She
That's
done
a
it. Let's see what you're
surprisingly
made of, man.
It's a surprisingly. That's what I'm talking about. That is a match that I'm like. That is a good match without even knowing the storyline or whatever. Needing one, you look at the match on Wikipedia or whatever website and go, yes, I've watched that. Because I'm a little bit worried that some of the other matches might not be like that.
No.
But
What does this mean? But
great
NWA.
save. Great save. I know.
What does this mean?
Get Nick Aldis on the card. That's all I'm thinking.
James Storm and
But
No, just get that belt. That belt with the photo of your face in the belt. That is so
And then
bonkers
Heelish.
and great, mate.
Continuing with the AEW Women's Division, we have the final of the Deadly Draw tournament. Darren, 10 out of 10 for watching. All of it.
I watched all of the build to this tournament.
Can you give us how was your hype
Quick
meter?
summary.
Your hype meter or quick summary coming into this final?
Pretty meh.
Right.
Purely because I would love to have seen Anna Jay and Tia Conte beat the Nightmare Sisters, but I guess it was kind of predictable because everyone's familiar with Brandy and Ali who watched Dynamite probably. But I don't know, man. It just kind of felt like this tournament was wasted because it didn't really build within the qualifying rounds, it didn't really build anything apart from the final.
Yeah.
This was a good idea to make storylines. Kind of didn't do it. I was kind of excited though because Diamante and Ivelisse, each time I've saw them, they've get better.
Yes.
And I became more warmer to them because I used to hate I don't know, I wasn't really taking the Diamante. Also, their entrance theme's a fucking tune.
Yeah.
So I was quite excited about that, and I was hoping that they would pull the trigger on them.
So yeah, get into the match. They come out looking. Ivelisse and Diamante come out like absolute badasses.
Yep.
Ivelisse, especially when you get these four women in the ring, looks like a pro.
Yeah. Also,
All
first
four
time
of
they
them.
dressed the same, like similar.
Yeah,
did
they
do
look
that,
like,
yeah.
and then Ali and Brandy Rhodes come out, and one of them, I didn't see this, but you called it out, spat on the fucking
Yeah, it's kind of
trophy.
weird. So Ali's walking by, she goes up to the trophy kind of, and Dustin says something to her, and then she kind of, it's almost like kiss it for good luck or spit on it for good luck, I'm assuming,
Right.
because it then looks like Ali doesn't kiss it, so she must have spat on it, and you're like,
Yeah, that's
why'd
weird.
you spit on the
Unless you're going to
trophy?
spit and get it a wee.
Also, Corona.
Also, Corona. Aye.
That wasn't the only time during this evening that Ali disappointed me, because, and she's one of the more experienced ladies in the ring. I think she was really bad.
See, before we even got into the match, sorry, I need to berate that entrance, like with the
Figures.
Nightmare family coming out with the figures, and then it actually came up on the screen. Not even like, fine if it came up an ad with the t-shirts, but it actually came up the name that she calls the things. It was like, buy now, pre-order, and I was like, right. And then Dustin doing the shit, looks like they were fit to fight, but kind of looked like they were humping each other. I don't know, man.
Did you not think it was
the
going to
natural
be heat?
That's what I'm thinking.
Here's the thing though, but Natural Nightmares come out in her super face.
The match, 9 minutes 34, it took a little time to get started. There's a lot of arm work and like rest holds and shit.
A lot of.
Brandy comes in with a spear.
Well, this is
That's
the
a
thing.
finisher, I believe.
Well, yeah, I
or-
mean that's what I was going to say. It's nice to see them work against Brandy, because as much as I don't always believe Brandy as in her wrestling persona, but she's like a powerhouse. That's kind of her vibe. She does a lot of it. She's like Matt Jackson. She does a lot of like dub spots.
Yeah, she takes a lot of the offense.
And she'll
then
take a lot of
comes
the
back,
offense,
yeah.
and then she'll come back, or she'll use a spear. That's like for people who are usually the bigger of the tag team or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And her spear's better than Edge's.
Fuck off. Fuck.
Thought this match kind of looked like two experienced wrestlers having to pull through two really fucking bang average wrestlers. A lot of PC, like performance center moves in a sense, like hence why it started off a lot of drags or whatever. A lot of what's the word?
Basics.
The basics,
Fundamentals.
fundamentals, yeah, and just a lot of hesitation.
Putting the
But
fun back
I
in
get it, and I think my issue is more the 9 minute thing that it's at 9 minutes, and you could have protected. But it's annoying because I think what they're doing with this tournament is to establish a feud between Ali and Brandy, which is something that if I was watching anything, if I was watching my company at that point, I'd be doing something with Ivelisse and Diamante, not with Brandy.
Absolutely.
I'd still be doing stuff with Brandy and Ali, but my priority is getting these two performers over. But the ending sequence I found really, really interesting because Brandy hits a spear, is rolled to the outside, and it's looking bad for Ali.
Yep.
And then suddenly QT Marshall comes in and tries to interfere. Ivelisse and Diamante go for QT Marshall, and then Ali's got a chance, but then fucks it up as it gets reversed. Ivelisse and Diamante then hit double team for the win and win the
Yeah,
tournament.
their double team move. It's like, what was it? She got her into a roll so that Ivelisse could kick her.
Yes, they do their finisher each. She did her finisher, which I can't remember what it was, and then Ivelisse does the
Good, yeah.
snapmare roll and then kicks. All the stuff didn't look the best, but I still think overall in this match it delivered way more than I was expecting. I don't know if now that's because my expectations are so fucking low when it comes to the AEW Women's Division.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? The booking got over. The booking was okay. I was okay with in this match. The execution of the wrestling, less. I wouldn't have done what all they did in that match. I wouldn't have done it that way. I wouldn't have done it that long. But it served its job to go. I'm invested in the four performers coming up with this.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people do have issues with the time and the whole female division as a whole in AEW. I think it's done nothing for me anyway, bar for Diamante and fucking how do you say her? Ivelisse.
They got
Which
themselves down.
they were great, but like in terms of every other person that was in this tournament, it just should have been a singles tournament, man. It should have been a bigger singles tournament.
It's complicated.
So
Yeah, because it just kind of it builds to nothing. But to me, it would have made sense to have this full tournament singles, and then the winner gets the cup, but also challenges Shida at All Out.
And you could have had Rosa Mendes to establish.
Boom,
and
yeah,
then
like
the
after
division
that,
as well.
All Out, have a big debut, have Thunder Rosa come out, wallop the fucking Shida if she retains or whoever won it, whatever, but it's just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, 9 minutes, it's more than they've got for the past month and a half, so that show.
I don't think it went too long. I think I was actually, what got me about the match was, for the story they were telling, I was like, I don't think they're wasting moves. Which sometimes those matches, even when they are short, there's wasted moves. There's something things happening. You're like, why is this happening? I was just like, no, I can get behind what's happening in ring. QT's interference, like sure, all that stuff I could buy into, and I enjoyed the match because it's rare to see such a cohesive tag team in the women's division because they don't have a tag team division.
Yeah.
But that's where my issue is. And I don't know if it would have been better as a singles tournament. I think they just have an issue with putting multiple storylines into tournaments. Because it's the same thing that happened after lockdown with the tournament they'd done for the TNT Championship. Where you're like, don't just book for your main event, for the final of the tournament and whoever comes out top there. Book for each thing to create new storylines in that division. Like you had an opportunity to put an odd couple together and that becomes their feud, or an odd couple who become friends and that begins to build maybe not a tag division but allies in the women's division, people who can build on storylines with and just grow it out that way. Whereas I think they're in danger of creating a tag division when they do not have the foundations built, because people are still, like you're saying, I think that they've got loads of good wrestlers and they've done some great booking, but the majority of the time they're falling down. I don't know if it's rehearsal time, don't know if it's inexperience or training at times with some of the newer talent they bring in, but
hopefully the start of a new page for the women's division. However, if you want to watch a better match in the same night, you can watch Io Shirai and Dakota Kai.
I bet.
So,
can't wait to see it, man.
Next week's matches, Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara in a tables match. John Moxley and MJF contract signing.
Yes.
And the tag team gauntlet match, like we said earlier, Natural Nightmares with Young Bucks, best friends in F.
So then we get to the main event of the evening, the TNT Championship. Cody Rhodes defending against this week's challenge.
My boy!
The leader of the Dark Order and the leader of your boy stable.
Absolutely.
Mr.
Brodie Lee.
Open your eyes as they come out.
Brodie Lee's new jacket, 10 out of 10. Way
With the
better.
spikes, with the
Way better than the weird stitchy
And
shit.
Darren is, and that's the 20-second mark, and Darren had already started marking out.
Yeah, this is the part of the review where this is the Brodie Lee segment for me. So
It starts off the match, and this is going to be a recurring thing for the 3 minutes I talked about it. Brodie Lee gets offense as you get big moves from Brodie Lee.
you're damn right.
We can
Brawl
talk
to the
about each
outside.
move because each move was
The outside.
fucking great.
Yeah.
Gets chops him and slaps the fuck out of him outside in the ring. Gets him back in. A huge power bomb.
Yeah.
Some nasty kicks. Super kicks.
There's
Some great super kicks, man.
There's a kick that's almost like Sweet Chin music.
Yeah.
But because he's so big, he has to twist more, so almost looks like he's kicking backwards, but it looks really good.
One of the first times his moves have looked like heavy but fast but fucking powerful, man. You don't get that in a lot of these tag matches or whatever.
It took a second for it. No, I'll tell you, I'll be honest, and that's just the way he's been booked. It took me 3 minutes to believe it, but then when it happened, I totally believed it.
See, I still
But you know
thought
what I mean? Originally, I was like, this is Brodie Lee getting his offense in.
Yeah.
But then when you look at it again, you're like, no, the way the kicks were sold, the way that Cody didn't have time to make a mistake, that the offense was there. He managed to flip over at one point, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And the rest of the time takes the offense and gets one spinning clothesline.
So as part of my grief counselling, I rewatched the match to deal with the loss. And I definitely noticed as soon as it starts off, he's getting his offense and Cody will come back, there's a moment Cody slips out when they're in ring again from a powerbomb attempt.
He lifts him up,
He lifts him up and he comes down his back, and then he just ends him again and continues his offense, and as soon as he's in the middle of the ring, you're like, oh yeah, he's lost. And you see Arns like can do nothing, and you're just like, Cody lost the match as soon as he was in the middle of the ring, and he missed that final chance to get
The
back.
best Arn has came across in a fucking Cody match was just seeing him literally kind of watch, as Jake Roberts said, Caesar fucking crumbling from his crown. Also, Cody's attire looked fucking great in the all gold.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love this so much, man. In the sense that, bar Brodie Lee aside, AEW, I think, have listened to their audience, because I constantly see Cody's run getting buried because people aren't enjoying him. And I'm air quoting here because I don't think he's burying talent, but burying talent, which I don't think he is. If anything, he's getting him over.
Yes.
Also, I seen online, people were like, this buries everybody because Moxley beat Brodie Lee, yada. This is evidence.
No, but
just
Moxley
it does-
should be
it's
best.
The way he beats Cody.
Exactly, and it's just like, if MD has an issue with that, Brodie Lee had to get put through fucking stairs and stages for Moxley to beat him.
Yeah.
So
And also
It's
Cody.
a different Brodie Lee now.
exactly.
It's a different Brodie.
Cody has been out every single Dynamite, always fighting, and all of his matches usually go pretty intense for no reason. He pushes himself to the limit.
Gets me more excited now because the structure of Dynamite will now change in the sense that, as well, it was getting repetitive, and Cody needs this to pursue this heel run that everyone's wanting to happen. I think it's going to be very cool to see his reaction to this.
Prepare yourself, because I don't
Here we
usually
go.
say this. Cody Rhodes is someone that I'm confused by. Even though he's now wrestled for a year almost non-stop in AEW, I still don't know in my mind if he is a great wrestler. He does a lot of things amazingly, right? But this is the point where I go, okay, whether I like his styles or not, because a lot of times he's thrown out as the king of the 3-star match, right? And I think he's one of those, can be put as one of those guys, but then he has matches like Dustin, the match with Aldis. He has certain storyline matches that really work. But more than anything, last night he proved that he can do his job as one of the best wrestlers to put a belt over.
He can do his job.
Because the TNT, he can do his job, because
Do the
generally
job.
the TNT Championship, from where it was with his win, which I did not agree with or anything, they did a lot to put this over, and it's a big angle to put over. But at the end of the day, if you're sitting caring about that angle and caring about the fact that Brodie Lee has won a belt, it means that belt is established and means something.
Yeah.
Therefore, Cody Rhodes, whether he's buried talent or not, has put made that belt mean something. And it's a new belt, and that was his fucking job as first champ. So,
And you put
Well,
over a heel, which
exactly.
never happens in the
Yeah,
AEW.
a big guy in AEW get put over. Oh my god,
however,
guys!
exactly.
Whoa!
But however, this comes with the big weight of going, he's put Brodie Lee over. Now let's see if Brodie Lee can. Cody's in the neck brace. Brandy, he gets carried out in the wee thing, and Brodie's talking to all the Dark Order. It's complete chaos with the Dark Order coming out. Everyone's out there. He kicks Arn in the stomach.
Yeah, two Dark Order members hold Arn, and he's like,
Yeah. Oh yeah, because then when he fell, it cuts to him. He's like, "You son of a bitch!" And I was
so
like,
good.
"Oh."
So it was chaos.
You made me as well. He kept saying that to everybody. It was like, guys like you made me. And I was like, that was cool. Also, the bit where he told Tony Schiavone to get the fuck out of his ring, that was
So
pretty
good,
sweet. He was
so
like, get the
good.
fuck out of
And
here.
Tony
He said,
Schiavone
"Fuck that."
did his Tony.
Yeah.
And then Brandy comes out, and Brandy's like, no more, because he attacks Cody again when they're on the ramp.
That was great.
when he's been taken out, and well, no, he gets taken out all the way to the
Tunnel. Yeah.
with all sorts of medical professionals.
All the refs
around
are
him.
out there. All the refs are out there.
So good.
Smacks him with a bag.
What's in the back?
Yeah, what's in the bag?
What's in the bag? Is that-
I actually was quite surprised because I knew it was going to be the belt, but I thought it was cool that it was the belt completely
In pieces,
shattered. Yeah, and he was like,
Yeah.
"You can have that."
He
And I
pours
was
that.
like,
And Brandy, the Brandy bit I thought was really cool. Brandy comes out and is like, no more, no more, no more. And they all stop and they're not going to attack him.
"You wouldn't hit a woman now, would you?"
And then Anna Jay from the Dark Order comes out, and it's like, yes, the stable that has a woman is now wreak havoc in the women's division as well,
Yeah.
as a stable.
Who also stood
Who else
out
there?
in the tournament.
Got
So he's a
tune.
strong performer.
Her tune
Yeah.
is so good.
I loved how that there were so many refs all saying, Get a hold of him! Get a hold of him!
Get him out of here!
They were all telling each other to get him out of here, but yet no one was getting him out of here. And Brodie Lee was just like, meh.
Finally, it's starting to take shape that this is what the Dark Order, when you think about when they debuted, was it Double or Nothing? And, you know, it was pretty fucking meh. Nice to see the confidence and nice to be like, we're going with this now, this is what it's going to be, this will be a powerhouse. And finally, they can hopefully, to me, be the stable that I kind of wanted Inner Circle to be before I really digged their comedy when they first get presented. A nice, aggressive, monster stable, man. But
it has huge potential.
Huge potential.
Huge potential. But to me, it's still a lot of potential. But I can't wait to see. Rating wise for the match, come on, I've got to give it a Mankind Mick Foley Survivor Series 97. Cody, you did a Mick Foley. You weren't a 5-star match, but you did your fucking job as a wrestler. You put the guy over, and I respect you. Have a nice day.
I'm going to give
bang,
it a massive, just massive happy Darren out of 10.
Nice.
That was fucking great. Got me intrigued, got me more excited for All Out. Try!
You can't mark out as much. Doesn't get W's.
Oh, you indie marks, guess who didn't beat Cody? Warhorse. Do you know who did? Brodie Lee. Fuck you.
Can we point out that yet another WWE guy has won that title?
Yes.
Let's add it to the count.
Please feel free to let us know what you think
Yeah.
about us changing to weekly shows with AEW Dynamite.
I've been Dugbag hosting this, lighting that fuse.
I've been Brodie, the perfect 10 Darren.
Dark Order, join now. Join darkorder.com. And Lou.
I'm Lou.
You stop crying now.
Like the views, bringing the views. This was shit.
I like it.
Brett screwed Brett.
Hey, this is Dugbag just checking in to say thank you so much for checking out the first ever episode of TNP Podcast Reviews Dynamite. We're going to be doing this every week now, so we'd love to hear your thoughts on how we're doing so far since we're such a young podcast. So please check us out on our Twitter at TNP_podcast or our Instagram TNP.podcast to help with your thoughts on the show, your excitement for Dynamite, what you liked or didn't like about this Saturday and following on to the Thursday special. So by all means, light the fuse. I used to like Muse, Dynamite.
Shawn Michaels screwed